2014 Tesla Model S. Car came from the used car lot dealer. Car came in a tow truck. The history behind this car is when they bought the car, I believe from auction, car had low range, but they didn't bother charging, so the high voltage battery was completely drained out. The range was at 0 miles, 0% left. Right now it's 31% because it's already fixed. I fixed it. I'm just making a video of documentation and diagnosis purposes in case any other shop out there looking to see what's going on with it. So that was the history. So car had 0% range. So I was called out there. I went with my equipment. I scanned I used Tesla software, try resetting the battery management system to see if the contactor closed, but it wasn't closing. It was failing to close. Then I went ahead and looked at the fault codes. Let me pull up the fault codes first before I talk about this. Okay, so when I went to the dealer, these are the codes I was getting. Again, it was 0 range. Battery has 0 range. So right there, BMS SOC imbalance, it was throwing that code. Usually it's pretty much death sentence for the high voltage battery code. So I'll talk about the other step. And then again, imbalance was coming up again. And then what caught my eyes, yeah, it will not support 12 volt. Once high voltage battery is down to 0, it's gonna stop supporting your 12 volt battery, small battery. In any case, so what caught my eyes was this right there: charge port latch not engaged. And let's go by the charge port. Actually, before going towards charge port, let's talk about what happened when I was looking at the imbalance. So I pulled up, I looked at the CAN voltages. Sorry, I was looking at the all the BMS module voltages. So every single cell, every single module's got a 16 modules. Every single module was around about 3.4. They were all averaging out. So I didn't see anything imbalanced. So then I went further ahead and I was looking at each cell voltages. They were all within the range. Nothing was sticking out out of the ordinary. So then what led me, then my next step was, let's look at the charge port, see what's going on. See, since it was saying where'd it go, charge port not latch. So let's go by the charge port. So this ring right there was completely red, and there's a little latching pin that was all the way up, and you would not be able to insert this charge port, this charge cable into the charge port. Again, it's already fixed, so let me pull out the let me show you the old charge port. Okay, so this is the old charge port. That's where I pulled out of the car. First, don't pay attention to this cracked ring. This is separate than this unit. So again, this ring was lit red, and you see this pin right there, this locking paw right there, it was all the way up. And no matter what I do, I try opening the unlock charge port, that anything, nothing was working. This latch pin was not going down. So that led me to look into the charge port. When I looked at it, this is not normal. This cover should be fully there should not be any hole in this cover at all. I'll show you the new charge port, what it looks like. So when I dismantled I isolated the car, and I try, there's an emergency locking pod that you can you can disengage it in case your charge port is not releasing the charge cable. Let's just say this thing is stuck. There's a way to, there's an emergency release for these. So that's what I'm get to it. Let me take this cover out and I'll show you what it what it is. So once again, this cover should be a solid piece. There should not be any holes. Someone drilled a hole I don't know what they were doing. I think, anyways, so I think they drilled a hole so they can get to this right there, but you're not supposed to do that. The reason is there's a high voltage cable going here and there's another high voltage cable going in. So if you're trying to release it by doing this hack job right there, you're gonna shock yourself if you don't know what you're doing. So this is a big no-no. This is a safety item. Tesla is very particular about this. So what happening is this right there, this is frozen right there. So it should be very free to move. It's not, actually it's way better now since I'm moving it back and forth. So once you go all the way back, as you can see, this is all the way up. So let's go the other way. Now that should release your, now this part is down there, is unlocked now, and you'll be able to pull your charge cable in and out. Okay, so that was not being calibrated. So, and the second thing is, again, this should be covered, this should be a solid piece, and to get to that you gotta take these high voltage cable off, and there's another cover that's covering it. One thing to notice, there's a little switch right there. There's a little toggle switch right there. I don't know if my camera's gonna pick up the clicking. There's a micro switch in there. Okay, if this cover is off, car is gonna isolate the high voltage. So make sure this cover is on, and this little tab right there is in one piece. If this is broken and someone has put it there and you're wondering why it's not working, well, if this is broken, it's not going to engage this micro switch. So once again, I'm just making a video for documentation and diagnosis purposes as well. So a couple things to look out, right? One, make sure this is intact, right? And this micro switch is being engaged. Let's see. Come on. Like that, right? So this should be fully engaged. And again, once again, this should be solid. There should not be a hole right there. So I suggested the shop, let's fix this before we looking into replacing a high voltage battery. So sorry, used car dealer. So they agreed, and they got the charge port unit. I'm not sure where they got it. It was a used unit for sure. So I installed it, and sure enough, car is charging and is back to its normal state now. Let's pull up the codes, service alert. So it's gonna need a 12-volt battery because you know, car been sitting with zero range, with zero support of 12-volt. The battery's dead, so they're gonna need a 12-volt battery as well. But as you can see, car is charging. It's in a drivable state right now. So anytime you have zero range and you have something related to charge port and stuff, look into the easy stuff first before condemning the high voltage battery. So let's go back to let's go by the charge port, and I'll show you the that little orange cover. As you can see, car is taking a charge, and this is a charge port. See what I'm talking about? Should be a full solid piece. There should not be any holes or anything. So once again, look for this easier stuff first. Fix that first before going into the complicated stuff. Yeah, so be on the lookout, and a lot of research and a lot of research and a lot of thinking was of course involved in diagnostic processes. So don't be afraid to take these cars. Any shop is getting it, take them, and you know, work on them, but be very careful, right? You got to isolate the car. There are tons of videos that will show you how to isolate the car. Different models different year has different process, so make sure read the documents how to isolate the car and then start taking things apart. Yeah, hopefully that helps someone else out there, and this is it. Okay, so I forgot to mention something. So when you replace the charge port, sometimes car will prompt you to update the software. In my case, I did that, so software was updated as well. So any module that is being replaced, make sure it's up to the latest software. And yeah, so I want to take the charge port as I want to take this charge port apart to show you guys. So I took these out, this cover off, and this is the micro switch I was talking about right there. You see it? And these are the high voltage slugs right there. Again, this charge port is junk. So, and this is the locking mechanism right there. See? Right there. So, obviously there are videos out there that show you how to request a software update. Let me just show you guys as well. So you put the vehicle in a service mode and you request a software reinstall. Again, some newer models gonna have a different layout, but this is an older style, and you can do full request or CAN ECU, whatever you like. I like to do full, so it does everything. But yeah, okay, hope that helps.